Cold weather is easy to ignore until it isn't. At first, it feels like a small discomfort. Cold hands, a stiff neck, a breath that turns white in the air. Most people don't think twice because warmth feels close, but for many, especially those without a safe place to go, cold does not come and leave. It stays. It settles into the body, and slowly, it becomes dangerous. The human body is not built to survive long periods of extreme cold without protection. It works constantly to keep its core temperature stable. In cold conditions, that balance becomes fragile. Heat escapes through the skin, through breathing, and through contact with cold surfaces. Wind pulls warmth away faster than we realize. Moisture makes everything worse. When heat loss becomes faster than heat production, the body begins to shut down quietly. Clothing becomes the first line of defense. Warm clothes are not about comfort. They are about survival. Jackets, sweaters, hoodies, layered shirts, thick pants, gloves, scarves, and winter hats help trap heat close to the body. Even old or donated clothing can help when layered properly. Covering exposed skin matters more than people think. The head, hands, and feet lose heat quickly, and once they go numb, the rest of the body soon follows. Layering works better than wearing a single heavy item. A base layer helps keep the skin dry. A middle layer holds warmth. An outer layer blocks wind and cold air. Dry clothing is critical. Wet clothes pull heat away from the body at an alarming rate. Snow, rain, or sweat can turn a cold situation into a dangerous one. When changing clothes is not easy, avoiding moisture becomes a survival decision. Blankets and sleeping materials can make a real difference. Thick blankets, sleeping bags, and thermal emergency blankets reflect body heat back toward the body. Even several thin blankets, layered together, increase warmth. Wrapping tightly reduces exposure to cold air, especially during rest. For those sleeping in temporary or outdoor spaces, this insulation can mean getting through the night. Heaters are one of the most effective sources of warmth indoors. When used safely, space heaters can prevent dangerous drops in body temperature. They should be placed away from flammable objects and never left unattended. Proper ventilation is essential to avoid carbon monoxide poisoning. Heat saves lives, but only when it is used carefully. Warm food and hot drinks help from the inside. In cold weather, the body burns more energy just to stay warm. Hot meals, like soup, broth, or warm tea, help raise body temperature and restore strength. This becomes especially important when food is limited. Alcohol should be avoided, as it creates a false feeling of warmth while lowering the body's core temperature. Insulation from the ground is often overlooked. Cold surfaces like concrete, metal, or frozen earth absorb body heat quickly. Sitting or lying directly on them speeds up heat loss. Cardboard, foam pads, backpacks, folded clothing, or even newspapers can create a barrier. Even a thin layer between the body and the ground helps preserve warmth. Movement helps generate heat, but it must be controlled. Gentle movement keeps blood flowing and reduces stiffness. Too much movement causes sweating, which increases heat loss once the body slows down. Survival is about balance, moving enough to stay warm, but not enough to become wet or exhausted. Cold weather survival is not about strength. It is about awareness and small choices made again and again. Adding a layer, staying dry, blocking wind, and using heat safely can protect the body long enough to endure the cold. When warmth is limited, protecting the body becomes the first act of survival. And sometimes, that protection is what keeps a person alive. Cold weather becomes more dangerous as time passes. After the body is exposed for hours or days, the cold is no longer just something you feel. It is something that changes how you think, move, and react. This is where many people make critical mistakes. Not because they don't care about survival, but because cold slowly drains energy, focus, and judgment. Heat is life in cold conditions. Without it, the body begins to lose its ability to protect itself. Even a small amount of warmth can slow down hypothermia and buy valuable time. That is why creating and holding on to heat becomes the next most important step in cold weather survival. When possible, staying indoors is always the safest option. Even poorly heated rooms offer protection from wind and moisture. Closing doors, blocking drafts, and staying away from open air can raise the temperature enough to reduce heat loss. Curtains, towels, plastic sheets, or even furniture placed against doors and windows can help trap warmth inside a space. For those without reliable indoor heat, improvisation becomes necessary. Body heat is one of the most reliable sources of warmth. Sitting in a compact position, keeping arms close to the body, and reducing exposed surface area helps retain heat. Curling up rather than stretching out slows heat loss. In extremely cold conditions, conserving body heat matters more than comfort. Fire can provide warmth, but it comes with serious risks. Small controlled fires, when allowed and done safely, can help restore feeling to frozen hands and feet. However, open flames are dangerous. Fires can spread quickly, cause burns, or lead to smoke inhalation. Many people are injured not by the cold itself, but by unsafe attempts to stay warm. Heat should never come at the cost of safety. Candles, small burners, or improvised heat sources should only be used with extreme caution and proper ventilation. Carbon monoxide is invisible and deadly. In enclosed spaces, it can build up quickly and cause unconsciousness or death without warning. Warmth is essential, but clean air is just as critical. Wind protection plays a major role in retaining heat. Wind strips warmth from the body faster than still air. Finding areas shielded from wind, between buildings, behind walls, under overhangs, or inside stairwells, can significantly reduce heat loss. Even a slight reduction in wind exposure can make cold more manageable. Keeping heat once it is gained is just as important as creating it. After warming up, exposing the body again to cold air causes rapid heat loss. Covering up immediately after warming hands or feet helps preserve that warmth longer. Small habits like tightening clothing, closing gaps, and staying shielded add up over time. Cold also affects decision-making. As the body cools, thinking becomes slower and less clear. People may underestimate danger or delay seeking help. Recognizing this early is important. If confusion, extreme fatigue, or loss of coordination appears, it is a sign that the body is struggling. These moments should never be ignored. Surviving cold weather is not about finding perfect warmth. It is about reducing harm, slowing heat loss, and making safer choices under pressure. Heat does not need to be constant to be life-saving. Sometimes even brief warmth, used wisely and safely, is enough to help the body recover and continue. In cold conditions, every source of heat matters. How it is created, how it is protected, and how safely it is used can decide what happens next. When the cold refuses to leave, managing heat becomes the difference between endurance and danger. Cold weather drains energy faster than most people realize. Even when you are sitting still, your body is working constantly just to stay warm. In extreme cold, this effort slowly empties the body's energy reserves. When energy runs low, the body loses its ability to fight the cold. That is why food, energy, and hydration are essential for survival. In cold conditions, the body needs more fuel than usual. Hunger weakens muscles, slows movement, and reduces mental focus. When energy drops, the body struggles to produce heat. Warm food helps the most. Hot meals like soup, broth, rice, or oatmeal raise body temperature from the inside and provide strength. Even small amounts of warm food can make a difference. When hot meals are not available, high-calorie foods become important. Foods rich in carbohydrates and fats help the body generate heat for longer periods. Bread, peanut butter, nuts, granola, or any dense food supports energy and warmth. Eating smaller amounts regularly is often better than eating once and going long hours without food. Warm drinks are just as important. Hot tea, warm water, or soup helps increase core body temperature and prevents dehydration. Cold air dries the body faster than people expect. Breathing cold air and sweating under layers both lead to fluid loss. Dehydration weakens the body and increases the risk of hypothermia. Drinking regularly, even when not thirsty, helps survival. Alcohol should always be avoided in cold weather. It creates a false feeling of warmth while actually lowering core body temperature. Alcohol also affects judgment, making dangerous decisions more likely. In extreme cold, alcohol increases risk rather than reducing it. Energy must be managed carefully. Too much movement burns calories quickly, while staying completely still causes the body to cool down. The goal is balance. Gentle movement keeps blood flowing, while rest conserves strength. Wasting energy early can make surviving the night much harder. Cold weather can reduce appetite, even when the body desperately needs fuel. This is dangerous. Eating becomes a survival task, not a comfort. Even without hunger, taking in calories helps the body continue producing heat. In extreme cold, survival is not only about staying warm on the outside. Supporting the body from the inside with food, fluids, and energy gives it the strength to endure. Cold weather becomes most dangerous at night. When the sun goes down, temperatures drop quickly, and the little warmth gained during the day disappears. Darkness brings silence, isolation, and exhaustion. For many people, especially those without proper shelter, night is the hardest part of survival. The body loses heat faster while resting. As activity slows, circulation decreases and core temperature begins to fall. This makes choosing the right place to rest extremely important. Areas protected from wind are always safer than open spaces. Being under an overhang, near a wall, inside a stairwell, or behind a barrier can reduce exposure and slow heat loss. Even a small reduction in wind can make a noticeable difference. Sleeping directly on the ground is dangerous in cold weather. Cold surfaces pull heat from the body quickly. Before resting, creating insulation underneath is critical. Cardboard, backpacks, folded clothes, blankets, or newspapers can act as a barrier. Elevating the body even slightly from the ground helps preserve warmth during the night. Sleep must be managed carefully. Deep sleep lowers awareness and body control, increasing the risk of hypothermia. In extreme cold, many people avoid deep sleep and instead rest in short periods. Shifting positions, moving hands and feet, and staying partially alert helps keep blood flowing. While exhausting, this awareness can prevent the body from shutting down. Recognizing danger signs is essential. Uncontrollable shivering, confusion, slurred speech, extreme fatigue, and loss of coordination are warning signals. These signs mean the body is struggling. Ignoring them can be fatal. When possible, seeking warmth, help, or a safer location becomes urgent. Night survival is also mental. Fear, loneliness, and exhaustion affect decision-making. Staying calm and focused helps avoid risky choices. Simple routines, checking layers, adjusting insulation, blocking wind, provide structure when conditions feel overwhelming. Cold nights test limits. Survival often comes down to preparation, awareness, and small actions repeated again and again. Making it through the night means giving the body enough protection to last until morning, and in extreme cold, seeing the sunrise is already a victory. Cold weather survival does not end when the sun comes up. After days or weeks of exposure, the effects of cold begin to accumulate. The body grows weaker, and the mind becomes tired. Injuries heal slowly. Small problems turn serious. Understanding when to seek help and how to reduce long-term damage becomes just as important as surviving each individual night. Prolonged cold exposure affects the body in ways that are not always visible. Frostbite can begin with numbness and pale skin, often in fingers, toes, ears, or the nose. At first, it may not feel painful, which makes it dangerous. As damage increases, pain, swelling, and permanent injury can follow. Protecting exposed areas early is the best way to prevent this. Illness is another major risk. Cold weakens the immune system, especially when combined with exhaustion and poor nutrition. Coughs, fevers, and respiratory infections become more severe in cold conditions. Without warmth and rest, the body struggles to recover. Paying attention to early symptoms and avoiding further exposure when possible can prevent serious complications. Mental health also suffers in extreme cold. Constant stress, lack of sleep, and fear reduce focus and motivation. Decision-making becomes harder. People may underestimate danger or delay seeking help. Recognizing mental exhaustion is important. Slowing down, following simple routines, and focusing on immediate needs helps maintain clarity. Knowing when to seek help can save lives. If shivering stops, confusion increases, or coordination is lost, the situation is critical. These are signs that the body is failing to regulate temperature. Reaching out to shelters, emergency services, outreach teams, or safe indoor spaces becomes urgent. Survival is not about enduring everything alone. Small acts of care matter. Drying clothes, warming hands gradually, eating when possible, and resting safely help the body recover. Even brief periods of warmth can reduce long-term damage. Protecting health during cold weather is not only about the present moment, but about being able to survive the days ahead. Cold weather tests more than physical strength. It tests patience, awareness, and judgment. Surviving extreme cold requires knowing your limits and acting before those limits are crossed. Staying alive is not weakness. It is resilience.